What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is a new week here in the Crew Motorfest, and that means we have lots of new stuff to talk about. Potentially some new money methods, some new cars, actually a couple cars that maybe they weren't intending to reveal on this one. But anyways, let's get into it. This is everything new this week in the Crew. Let's go. All right, let's start out with the new content. There is no new content for this week, no new races, no new playlists, no new nothing like that, but there is a new summit. So let's talk about the summit real quick here. This week's summit is all Track Forge events. So every single one of these 6 here, besides the bottom feats, is going to be a Track Forge track. So if you're looking for like a more detailed guide, you can go to my summit guide. It's linked in the description. Let's talk about the rewards for this summit. We got 50 prestige tickets for bronze, 100,000 bucks for silver, the Porsche 935 2.0 coupe baby for gold, which by the way, you kind of need that car in the summit. You can use the loan one if you want, but it puts you at a disadvantage. You're gonna end up buying this car anyways. So you're gonna buy this in the store and you're not gonna get it for gold. So next week, when you get your summit rewards, you're gonna get like 150,000 bucks for getting gold. So just keep that in mind. The platinum reward is the Japanese Nitro. Looks pretty good. It's just, you know, looks like a normal Nitro. It's red at the front, white at the back. All right, as far as the bundle for the summit goes, there is none because there's only 2 cars you need. You need the old 935 and you need the new 935. That's it. Those 2 cars, you can buy both of those in the shop. I don't know how much they are because I own both of them, and one of them was part of the year 3 pass, and they don't tell you how much the cars are once you already own them. So yeah, I don't know how much it is, but it's going to cost you some bucks. And speaking of new cars, let's take a look at next week's summit, because next week's summit, we get a nice little picture of something like this right here, the Hennessy Venom F5. This car is coming to the game. This, in my opinion, confirms a new elite bundle for next week. We'll probably see a post on this week, either this week or possibly early next week, but I believe this is going to be the elite bundle. They sort of like unintentionally reveal these cars here in the summit menu as opposed to like showing the elite bundle, but we'll probably see that post in Discord and on the socials early next week. So we've got the Hennessy Venom F5 and the Touring Superleggera Arese RH95. Now, if you don't know what this is, I'll pull up a picture on Google so you can see it. The RH95 is kind of a nice looking car. It's built off of like the Ferrari platform. It looks very similar to a Ferrari, and it's their Touring Superleggera is like a really small niche company that not many people know, especially here in the US, but it's an Italian car maker. They've been making cars for a long time, and this is their first mid-engine car. So with that said, the car looks a little bit Ferrari-ish in the front. I love the back end, looks really nice, and I can't wait to give it a try. I'm excited for both like the brands, both new brands hitting the game, but I'm also excited to see if this shifts up the hypercar meta. So we'll see how that goes. As soon as these hit the market, which is going to be next week, I will be testing those, so look for that video next week. All right, let's take a look at the vanity shop. We do have some vanities this week. We've got White Stripes Underglow for $4. Looks like this. Hopefully we can see it. It looks all right, not too bad. Again, it's white stripes. We've got the front aero rooftop. Let's see how this looks on the car. Okay, there we go. So now it's a, you know, a roof scoop basically, and it's carbon fiber. So if you have a carbon fiber build, it'll look nice. $4 for that one. White tire for $1. White tire for $1's not bad. Any tire for $1, not bad, man. The tires are one of the biggest visual things you can see on the car, so that's nice. This one here is the Action white tire, and then we've got, let me go scroll down here, the red segment underglow, the red prismatic tire, the yellow underglow, and the yellow or light yellow electric nitro. $250 for that one. The yellow underglow, let me see, yellow underglow goes for $250. The red prismatic tire goes for $4. The Action white tire, let me see, Action white tire is $1. The which other ones do I have? I think that's the only 3 that I have. Okay, let's move on to the custom bundle. So we have offers and bundles here. The custom bundle is the Porsche 935. So this is a car that, again, you're gonna need this for the summit. So buy this car in the regular shop with bucks, then come back here and purchase this one here for you know, CC if you like the vanities. The vanities this week are the white line tire. It's a basic white line tire, and then we've got the white retro backfire, which looks pretty nice. I like it. I think it looks pretty cool. It's very basic, but it looks neat. And then we've got the White Stripes Underglow, which is the same one from the shop. So you get those 3 in a bundle for $6, $6 and change for all 3 of these vanities, whereas the White Stripes Underglow by itself is $4. So there you go. That is it for that one. Let's go to the custom show real quick. The custom show this week, let's take a look at the rewards. 100,000 XP, 100,000 bucks, and 100 prestige tickets. That's pretty standard. But the platinum reward this week is the Lab Underglow. So it's white on one side, red on the other. And I think I have this. So let me see if I can show you what it looks like. I do have it. So it looks like this. So it's got the red on this side, and then it's got the white on this side, and it blinks. And as far as the restriction for the custom show, you're going to need a German racing car. Let's move on. The grand races. So we have a couple of different modifiers this week for grand races. One of them happens to be, okay, we have no collisions. One of them happens to be special selection. We have a Porsche only special selection. We have a modern only special selection. There might be another one, but I haven't seen the full rotation yet. There could be others, but for sure there's a modern only and a Porsche only. So let's talk about the Porsche only first. So let's go to the vehicle category. We're going to split this to Street 2, racing, and hypercar. We're going to change it to Porsche so we can take a look at all of the Porsches here. Let's see. There we go. And we want to break this down by category. There we go. All right, so for Street 2, here's your options. I would select the 911 Turbo 3.6 in terms of like all around handling, all around cornering. This car has the best cornering in the class. It's got very good acceleration. It just got buffed as of, I think, last season. So that's going to be your cornering, like all around car. As far as the highways go, for the highways, you're going to look at the 4S. So the 4S looks like, where's it at? Here we go. So the Carrera 4S and the 4S Timeless, I believe they have similar top speed. The 4S is going to be your best pick, I believe, for that top speed. So that's just for highways. It doesn't handle that well, so only highways. It goes, I think, 247, whereas the 911 Turbo only goes 245. The 911 Turbo you could use for almost anything, but if it's just a straight highway, you're going to be left in the dust. As far as the racing goes, I would select the brand new 935. That's going to be your default pick for most routes. But if guttering is a thing, like if you have to do a bunch of gutters back to back, I would select the GT3 Cup. The GT3 Cup actually handles the gutters much better. It's a much softer suspension, meaning like it just absorbs bumps. The 935 is extremely stiff and it just bounces out of gutters. It does gutter okay when you can get it to be settled in the gutter, but if you hit a bump, the thing just jumps up and you're out of the gutter and you end up losing slipstream. So anyways, 935 for general use, and then the GT3 Cup for pretty much everything else. Now, as far as hypercar goes, you can use the 911 GT1 Strassen version for highway routes, I would say, and the Carrera GT Ahead Edition for anything else. Basically, all of the cornering type stuff. The Ahead Edition is very, very nice. Now, if you don't have the Carrera GT Ahead Edition, the 918 Spider is decent, and you can also use the regular Carrera GT. It just doesn't have the same, like, I don't know, it doesn't accelerate as well as the other one. It doesn't feel as good as the Ahead Edition, but it's like a miniature version of that. So anyways, those are your options. You also have the 919 Street for like NOS power. The 919 Street has very good NOS power, and it's probably a good option for if you're just struggling with car control. This one's a lot easier to drive, so try that one. All right, let's take a look at the modern categories now. We actually have Street 1, Drift, and AGP for the grand races, and we have modern selected on our filters here. So let's take a look at Street 1, what type of options we have for a modern Street 1 car. There's two options that I strongly recommend. The first is the Volkswagen Golf GTI. This is a very good car. I would say it's probably in the top 5 in terms of Street 1, but you also have the Mini. The John Cooper Works Mini is very underrated. I don't think people talk about this car enough. It is very good. But you also have the BMW M3. That one's also good. It kind of like loses the back end a little bit, so it's not like the best. The RS3 Sportback is decent, but you also have the RS2. Let me see if I can find the RS2. Where are you? The RS2 doesn't look like it's modern enough. So those are the cars that I would recommend. I would start with the GTI. You also have the Ford Focus. Not gonna lie, that car is actually pretty decent as well. But I would say GTI number 1, John Cooper Works number 2, maybe the BMW 3, and then you go into the other hatchbacks there. But that's my recommendation for Street 1. Let's talk about Drift for a second. Drift is an easy one. You're gonna go with the Hoonigan cars. Let me see if I can find it. This guy here, the Lancer Evolution 9 is going to be your choice. You can also go with the e-tron. Both of these cars are good. If you're on direct mode, you can actually drive these. For those of you who don't know, if you have direct mode, you really can't drive any other cars besides the Hoonigan cars because the steering doesn't work. So like as soon as you turn the car, the steering locks up and the car drives straight. It's just a weird bug that happens with direct mode and most of the drift cars, but this one doesn't do it, and neither does the e-tron. So you can use these. These are the ones I recommend anyways, because the Evo 9 is actually the second fastest drift car in terms of racing in the grand races. For AGP, I would say the RB14 Disruption Edition. It's the meta car. You can also use the RB14. I believe it's in here. Yeah, so the RB14. So AGP really doesn't matter. Everything in there is modern, but the RB14 is my choice. All right, let's talk about money for a minute. The 4 best money methods are still those. You got Hummer Express, you got Riding in My Buick, you got Get It or Don't Come Back, and you've got Kiss Me Combi. However, there's a couple of boosted things. One is the Track Forge, 50% boosted. Now, the Track Forge is a god-awful way to make money, so this is not going to help you. Now, if you're playing the Track Forge just for fun, you're just out there, you know, playing it and having fun with it, obviously this is nice. You're going to make a little bit more money, but it is not a money method, meaning you grinding this is a waste of your time if your only goal is to make money. Okay, so don't worry about the 50% boost on the Track Forge. What is worth your time is the 50% boost, which I'm not seeing up here on Treasure. Treasure was 50% boosted as of my Summit stream last night, but for some reason that little tile has been taken away, so I need to go out and find a treasure and see what we've got here. All right, let's see what we get here. Open it up. I don't see the boost. 12,000. No, treasure is not boosted. It was for a moment, but I think they just put the tile up there. They didn't actually boost it, the little, you know, info tile, and then it was corrected pretty quickly. So anyways, no treasure. And that is it. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I read every single message that comes my way. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.